You know, there's a moment in every good movie when you realize you are in pretty good hands. It might be a single shot, it might be a line of dialogue, a scream, a piece of music, or the first 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes or so of a movie that feels like an awesome short film by itself. Great openings don't just start a movie, they make a promise. They tell you what kind of story this is going to be and what kind of world that you're going to be in, and whether you should lean forward in your seat or check your phone. Don't ever do that. These are the movies that didn't waste a second. These are the openings that hooked audiences instantly and never let go. Today, we are going to count down 10 of the best movie openings of all time. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so 10 of the best, maybe the 10 best openings of all time. Some just exist through the opening credits, some a little longer, but they are all deserving to be here, starting with number 10 in 1993's Cliffhanger. This is opening panic. I mean, pure panic from the outset, especially if you're like me and you're afraid of heights. Before we know anything about the plot of this movie, we're thrown into a rescue mission thousands of feet above the ground, and Sylvester Stallone's character reaches out to save a woman dangling on a line between two cliffs, and she slips. The fall feels endless, terrible, heartbreaking, and somehow inevitable, and it's just so gut-wrenching. But what makes this opening so powerful isn't just the stunt, it's the emotional damage that they're setting in right at the start of this film. The movie opens by telling you that good intentions alone do not guarantee survival in this film, and the guilt will linger long after the credits. So in just a couple of minutes, Cliffhanger establishes danger, trauma, high stakes of the film and the world you're living in, and it does it all without any exposition, and you are locked in immediately. Cliffhanger comes in at number 10. Now, the next one on this list is one you might have expected, but it takes a little longer to breathe. It is 1996's Scream. Listen, few openings have ever played out like Scream that really just changed the audience's expectations and shocked them in a way they had not been before. Drew Barrymore is the biggest star of the cast, so you expect her to live. She answers the phone. There's a playful banter. We all know it. What's your favorite scary movie? The conversation, though, escalates, and you just know something's wrong. It's a horror film. But the rules of horror are discussed, and that was something pretty new for this time. And then they actually broke those rules. The brilliance is the misdirection of this, and you assume she's safe because she's the star, and she isn't safe. Scream has already announced its mission statement, and that is, no one is safe, and we know what you expect, and we're going to change the rules to the game. The opening didn't just hook audiences, it resurrected the slasher genre. Now, coming in at number 8 is one that I'm going to get a lot of blowback on. I know it, but I do not care. The opening alone makes this film worth it. It is 2009's Wolverine, the X-Men Origins. No matter how you feel about the movie as a whole, and I actually like it a little bit better than most people, the opening sequence is undeniable. And a little bit of trivia here. It wasn't originally set to score music. It was originally intended to be set to Johnny Cash's Hurt, or his rendition of it. So a little trivia there. But the film opens with a wordless montage of Logan and Victor Creed going at, Sabretooth and Wolverine fighting side by side through decades of war. No dialogue, just time passing, bodies falling, history repeating, Wolverine realizing something is not quite right with his brother. And in minutes, the movie communicates immortality, brotherhood, trauma, the violence in purely visual terms, but also that growing disconnect between the two. It's mythic, it's tragic, it's also elegant in a way that I was not expecting when I saw this movie. The rest of the film kind of struggles to match that. There's the whole Deadpool thing that is really bad, but as an opening, X-Men Origins Wolverine is top notch. It lands on this list at number 8. Now at number 7, we have one of the most iconic and most simple openings of all time. It's 1977's Star Wars. Black screen, silence, then bam, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and suddenly the explosion, the music, the motion, the big yellow letters introducing you to this mythology that is legendary in the world of film. The opening crawl delivers politics of the movie, history, and all the stakes in what we're up against right off the jump. This is actually Brian De Palma's idea to kind of tell everyone what is going on, and it's followed immediately by the massive Star Destroyer flying in, filling the whole frame. It's one of the most efficient pieces in world building ever created. That opening sequence doesn't just start a movie, it launched an entire universe that still means so much to every film fan and pop culture person, and really the public zeitgeist of our history in general. Star Wars comes in at number 7. Now, number 6 is going to take a turn for the scary and the absolute shocking with 2002's Ghost Ship. This opening has absolutely no business going this hard, and if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I am talking about. You've got a glamorous ocean liner in like the 1950s or 60s, dancing, laughter, romance, just elegance, just great time. Then a wire snaps. What follows after that is maybe the most shocking mass death scene sequence ever put to screen. Sudden, silent, brutal, bodies fall apart, horrifying stillness. Then you see other things going on like poisoning, all these things happening on this ship, betrayals, other kills. The rest of the movie you can debate. I actually kind of enjoy this one too, but that opening is absolutely savage, unforgettable, and instantly iconic. It tells you exactly what kind of ride you are going to be on, whether you're ready for it or not. Ghost Ship comes in at number 6. Now at number 5, we have one of my favorites that is a whole lot more subtle than the last one, and that is Halloween 1978. The original, the iconic Halloween, and the opening didn't just start a movie. It literally changed horror and film forever. The camera moves through the house at a killer's POV, and we watch the murder through the eyes of the attacker, only hearing the breathing, seeing through his mask, the slow movements, the silence, and then the camera pulls back outside, and the killer is unmasked as a blank-faced child. In under 5 minutes, John Carpenter establishes the tone, the myth, the dread, and the mystery of this movie with no explanation, no safety net, nothing. It's minimalist, it's terrifying, it's perfect camera movement selling the story. Halloween 1978 comes in at number 5. Now, at number 4, we have one of my favorite all-time movies, one of the best movies ever made, and the opening does it a whole lot of justice. It might be one of the most memorable scenes in the film. It's 1975's Jaws. One scream, one unseen force, one ocean that will never feel safe again for anyone who sees this movie. The opening attack in Jaws works because you never see the shark, and your imagination fills in all of the blanks in the most horrific ways possible. You stay with the victim as she's dragged beneath the water, bobbing up and down like, a top or a bobber on a fishing line, helpless, terrified, no gore, no monster reveal, just absolute fear. You know what's under there. It's way worse in your imagination than it could ever be on screen. Spielberg teaches the audience in that moment, immediately, that this threat is unstoppable, that fear is in your mind and under the water, and that lesson will never leave most of us who have seen Jaws. Now at number 3, we changed the channel just a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's any less impactful, and that is Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. This scene, the opening sequence of this film, turns tension into an art form. There's no doubt about it. Christoph Waltz, Hans, arrives at a French farmhouse in the countryside under the guise of politeness. Just that over politeness where you know this isn't going to go well. It's a ticking time bomb situation that starts out as calm, friendly, and civil, and then slowly, painfully becomes unbearable. Tarantino lets the scene stretch until you're literally begging for an emotional release of this situation. And when the violence finally does erupt, it felt inevitable. You've got the ticking time bomb. It's devastating. We know she's under there. We know the people are under there. They're right under his feet. That creates such a tension with the audience. It is a masterclass in here, and it introduces us to one of cinema's greatest villains, honestly, or at least greatest portrayal of a villain, and it establishes complete control over the tone of this film. It is a masterclass of a scene and opening. Inglourious Basterds comes in at number 3. Now at number 2, I could have picked any one of these 3 movies, but nothing tells the story in an opening the way The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring does. There's very few openings ever really that carry this much weight, and in one sweeping, epic prologue, Fellowship introduces a entire history of Middle-earth, its wars, its heroes, its evil, its villains, the story of the ring and the one ring that rules them all and where it came to rest. Battles rage, kingdoms fall, legends are born, and then quietly it transfers and we arrive at the Shire. The brilliance is the balance here. Epic mythology grounded by the humanity of the Shire right after that. It is a vast lore and mythology, though, with so much clarity and confidence in such a short time. It is absolutely impressive. It is an invitation to a world that feels ancient, lived in, and real. We just learned our history. Now let's dive into the world of Middle-earth. That's why Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring comes in at number 2. And at number 1, I think this is the gold standard. It is 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. No heavy setup, no big backstory dumps, just Indiana Jones navigating traps, outsmarting his rivals, outrunning a boulder that became cinematic legend, and in less than 10 minutes, you understand everything about this character that would become legend throughout pop culture and cinema for the next 40, 50 years and beyond. We learn who is Indy. We learn what kind of movie this is, and we learn how adventure should feel and how the adventure of this story is going to feel and look and be told to the audience. It's pure visual storytelling at its finest, confident, fun, perfectly structured. I would expect no less from Steven Spielberg. If you want to teach someone how to open a movie, you show them Raiders of the Lost Ark. It comes in at number 1. So there you go. You have to remember that great movie openings don't just grab your attention. That's not all it's about. They earn your trust. They tell you this adventure that you're about to go on and the world you're going to be in. They tell you that your time won't be wasted with this film, that someone cared enough to get it right from the very first frames. And these movies, they didn't just start strong, they made history with the way they opened, and some of them much farther beyond. And that's what I've got for you this time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I would love to do more of these. There are great openings. There are great closings. We can do a lot of this stuff. We do a lot of lists and recommendations and rankings and big deep dive movie essays, nostalgia, documentary style videos, and I hope you enjoy that kind of thing. If you do and you want to help support the channel a little bit more, you can join my Patreon. The link is in the description. You'll get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more. And everything helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. It's Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.